Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric. So right over here we got a 2021 Tesla Model 3. We're doing a full XPEL paint protection film wrap on it. And in this video what we're going to be doing is a bulk rear hatch paint protection film install. I've got my paint protection film up there on the reading board. I'm going to go ahead and get the whole trunk lid sprayed down with my slip solution. So I've already gone ahead and prepped the rear hatch, took the Tesla emblem off. I've prepped all of my edges because I plan to wrap every edge. So right now I'm just getting my slip solution on there. I'll show you how I go about getting the film from the leading glass onto the car. Okay, so I'm just pulling the liner back, getting some slip solution onto the adhesive side of the film. I'm using a pump sprayer today instead of the smaller spray bottles just because this can take a lot longer. Okay, so I've got the adhesive side of the film done. There's a bunch of slip solution on there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it. I'm just going to fold it up like this, walk backwards. I don't want my film to be a big giant net in the air and pick up any contamination. Now I'm just going to lay it down right over top. Move my squeegee out of the way. So you'll see I have a ton of extra film. Just simply because the more film, the better. Now I want to try and make sure that I can get this all centered over here. I am going for 36-inch wide roll, which might be cutting it close, but it's the first time I've ever done one of these bulk rear hatches, so just want to make sure that I have everything somewhat where it needs to be. This little bit over here, I'll have no problem stretching that into place. Once I do a relief cut over here, I'll be able to pull that into place. Okay, so right now what I'm going to do, I got my tack solution right over here. I'm just going to take and tack. I'm going to tack the film down to the fender over here. So just going to get some tack solution behind the film. Go. Squeeze it out right there. Okay, now we're going to come along over here. Now what we want to do is now is going to be the most important part, because we're going to take and stretch right along the fin over here, and as I stretch all these fingers, they should start to lay flat. So I'm just going to get a bunch of tack solution over here on the paint, on the back of the film. And now we stretch. go. Okay. Now, we do have a couple fingers popping up right over here. So all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna lift this up over here a little bit and stretch some more. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I've got the film tacked down on both sides. As you can see, there's a ton of tension over here. This corner, I'll be able to wrap the corner 100% because once I cut it over here with the knife, the film is gonna pull back and you'll be able to wrap right underneath there. So right now, everything's good to go. I got a ton of slip solution under the film, so I'm gonna have to work pretty fast. So I'm gonna take my slip solution, just get a bunch on the top of the film. Okay, we're good with that. So the very first place I'm gonna wanna start squeegeeing is right along this fin. So I'm just gonna start in the middle and squeegee from side to side. There we go. Now I'm going to start to squeegee downwards. I'm going to have to take a knife and trim this or do a bit of a relief cut just to get it to go down because I did not remove the rear brake light, but we'll worry about that later. Now right now all I'm going to do is take and stretch this out. Get everything into place right there. I'm going to take my knife and trim off some of the excess. Just like that. Now I'm going to get some tack solution underneath here. Hold those corners just like that. Okay, now I'm going to start getting everything else squeegeed out, always overlapping squeegee strokes. Starting to get air buildup, so I want to get rid of the air first. I'm just doing some insurance passes with the squeegee, just to make sure I'm not having any contamination. There's not. Okay, so right now we do have a bit of an issue over here. I didn't have the film 100% centered, so we do have to stretch it into place. So all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take my knife and very carefully trim back some excess film. Now I'm going to come over here. Trim some excess film there as well. Now I'm going to get my slip solution. Pull the film back. Get a bunch more slip in behind the film. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pre-stretch it into place. So I'm putting pressure on right over here, I'm not putting all my pressure on the very end because then you're gonna cause all kinds of issues with the film. So all I'm gonna do now is just evenly stretch the film into place. Just like so. I'm gonna stretch it well past. Hold that there for a bit. Now I can come back, get some tack solution underneath there. My squeegee nearby. Now same thing, just with one hand, stretch it. And then I'm just gonna hold it in place. Let the tack solution start to get a hold of it just temporarily. Just like so. Just like so. There we go. That's about as much tension as you would want to be having on the film. You wouldn't want to be having any more. You could be running yourself into issues of distortion then. So I'm gonna have to trim this just a little bit more. There's too much tension on it, which is causing it to lift right here. So just gonna take and trim right there. And now, okay, there we go. That's good. Just like that. Okay, there we go. That's all good. Okay, now we can start to worry about this bottom section over here. So I'm actually just gonna get my chair. I'm gonna sit down and do this because it's just gonna make my life a whole lot easier. So I mentioned having to do a relief cut. So because we have the taillight in, we want to be super careful that we don't cut the taillight. So what I'm gonna do, pull the film back. And then as I'm cutting, I'm pulling the film away from the vehicle. And right over here where it's kind of hooked on the light, instead of cutting that with a knife, I'm just gonna pull that with tear that with my thumb. Now what I can do, I can pull the film back, get my tack solution in there. Gonna get this air out just with my hand at first. Of course, that corner is already down. Why would I try and be pushing solution out of it? Just like that. Okay, that's good. Now I'm gonna go over to the other side and do the exact same thing. And this time I'm going to start right over here. Very carefully. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to start to move over. Now I can start to get everything else out. So just overlapping squeegee strokes. just going to lift this up, make sure that nothing is sticking, and it's not. There we go. Good old Tesla paint. You got dust nibs in the paint. Gotta love it. So I just flushed that out with alcohol right now. Now what I'm going to do is just slowly take my squeegee, come over that character line right there, even pressure. Just make sure that there's no moisture being left behind. Just like so. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to do the finishing work now. I'm going to take and trim all the edges, dry everything out. It's going to take a couple of hours to do that. So thanks a lot for watching the video. Hope you guys liked it. If you did, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for more, and we're going to do a walk around video once this is completely done, just to show you what it looks like. So thanks again. Take care.